Thank you, Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and guests. Did you know the #1 fear in our society is public speaking? It's not snakes, it's not planes, it's not sharks, it's not vampires. It's getting up in front of the room and public speaking. Does that seem believable to everybody? Well, in some ways it does, but it also means if you went to a funeral, you'd rather be the one up front in the casket than the one in front of the room giving the eulogy. And knowing that, I give everybody that's here today a little bit of extra credit, because you know what? We voluntarily choose to do this every Thursday, to come to TNT, to come to Toastmasters. We're trying to align our nerves, we're trying to face certain anxieties, we're trying to challenge ourselves and step out of our comfort zone. That's why I came to Toastmasters a long time ago, back in my day, Sam, years ago. Scott Schaefer, Pauline Shirley, a bunch of folks that you've met or heard about. And I was afraid to come into my first Toastmasters meeting and sit in the back of the room because I was gonna have to give some comments at the back. I had just gotten caught up in anxiety, panic feelings, and really, I'm a reactive person. I just have a lot of adrenaline that runs through my body. And now that a lot of you have heard me speak and seen me speak over a period of time, I thought it would be good to say that for some of the new members and for some of the guests, but also talk about some techniques and things that I've learned and studied and used to grow over the years. The one that I really have dug into most recently is called the DARE response. Diffuse, accept, run towards, and engage. It's from a book by Barry McDonough. I can give you details at the end. And it's really similar to a couple other techniques where you actually are contrarian, where you actually don't try to avoid tension, nervousness, shakiness, that you actually turn towards it and you actually accept it. So walking through the steps, just so you can learn a little bit about it. Diffuse. It's just taking a little pause between rushing off into that circle of thinking that's kind of catastrophic. So diffuse would be, I have a speech next Thursday, whatever, it's gonna be fine, I'll do okay with it, I'm safe, it's not dangerous. And it's part of recognizing that discomfort that you feel, it's not danger. It's simply just nerves and the way that we were built. So diffuse is also a little bit of an awareness that I might start down this path of thinking that could be a little bit destructive, and I'm just gonna kind of cut that off at the pass. Accept is accept and allow everything that you feel after that point. If you start to feel nervous knowing that you have a speech next Thursday, if you feel a little bit of adrenaline, if you feel like you might feel shaky, that's okay. Accept and allow it. It can be a pulchritudinous thing and not necessarily something that you want to fight. And that's kind of the contrarian part of it, is that we tend to want to bury it, repress it, forget that I'm feeling that way, distract myself on the phone, do all these things to forget that I might be feeling some nerves, where the best thing to do is to just go ahead and allow yourself to accept and feel it and not fight it. Like so many things, when you fight it, you actually can make it stronger. And when you're accepting and feeling, let's say I'm sitting back there waiting to give my speech, watching everybody else go, and you know, the worst thing to try to do is make yourself feel perfect before it's time to do something. You don't want to feel safe before you do it, because you really never get to that point. You might feel a little bit shaky, your heart might start to beat. Instead of saying, oh my gosh, you're actually saying, I'm going to run towards it. So now you're at the R of DARE. I'm not only going to accept it, now I'm going to say, you know what, bring it on. Heart, you're going to beat a little bit and start to make me feel nervous. Beat like crazy. Go for it. I feel a little bit shaky. Make me shake when I get up in front of the room. It's going to be okay. And actually, when you turn against something like panic and anxiety, it has a funny way of silencing and stopping. It doesn't get worse when you challenge it to get worse. It gets better. So maybe something that you can think about and try. Diffuse it, everything after that, accept and feel it, all the way through, and then turn the tables on anxiety and fear and actually run towards it. And then finally, you're going to engage. You're engaging in the present. You're engaging what you came here to do, and that is pass on some information to people in my club, give you some tips and something to think about. And you're also engaging in the present. You know, sometimes when I'm sitting there ready to speak, I look up and I sort of chuckle at the art that's on the walls at Nunu Buffet and look at the big Buddha that's up there on the wall and say, you know, sometimes you come in here and you're so stressed and anxious or worried, you don't look around and notice those kind of things. The colors that are on the wall, the banner, whose names are up there on the banner, and just be engaged in the present as well as the activity that you signed up to do. So I thought that might be kind of a nice reminder for everybody. It always is for myself to realize that you can look into this DARE response, and maybe that'll help you dare to sign up for that next speech, dare to take that assignment at work, dare to really try to put yourself outside of your comfort zone on something upcoming, and ultimately just dare to help yourself grow more like we're all doing here in TNT. Madam Toastmaster.